So let me welcome to the stage, hello. So I'm joking, so this is our logistics panel, and I know logistics is like, you know, people think I am the most guilty of person of saying to people, just sort your logistics out and we'll see you afterwards. Until I met Azad and had the opportunity to tour his facility and understand what goes on. So if you've ever heard me say, just sort your logistics out, I apologise. That was a massive oversight on my part in terms of what logistics is. So we're joined by Azad Hussain, who's the CEO of Sprint Logistics, our logistics partner. Chris Platt, who's the founder and CEO of Diggin. He is a taskmaster. You wait to hear what he makes Azad do every single week. And Baldwin Roos, who is the International Business Development Lead at Everstox. So Azad, welcome. Do you want to tell us about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Tash. It was very nice of you, I must say. My business is fulfillment and shipping, which in our language, of everyday language, means plumbing. So we all love the plumbing because it always works. But when it doesn't work, we're all very upset. So generally, my interaction with people tends to be when something's leaking. So my mission statement in life is to make e-commerce flow. So just replace the water in your pipes with your e-commerce. And whenever I'm walking around my business, I have about 160 staff. My first question is it flowing? Whatever you're doing, is it flowing? Whether it's tech, data, transfer, shipping, picking, packing, anything they're doing, is it flowing? And if it's not flowing, Azad's not a happy man. So what we do with businesses is we help them grow, outsource, scale, so you can use what you're all good at, which is your human capital and your cash as effectively as you can. And Warren Buffett always says that the number one thing you can invest in is yourself. So that's what I meant by human capital. So use your minds where you're good at to pursue those fantastic business plans and dreams that you have. And it's wonderful to see that. That's why I'm a sponsor of this show, actually, because I think it's really good to see so many businesses from this country scaling up. It's really wonderful. And our job is to do it efficiently. So on my left, first is Baudouin, and then is Chris. And Tash said who they are. Let me start with Chris. Yeah, why not? Chris, tell us a little bit about your story at Diggin. He'll say it in his own words, which is pretty good, actually.
Okay, is that working? Yep. So Diggin is a marketing channel. It is a tech company. It is a consultancy. What we do is we place a bedroom. It's a box. It's called a Diggin box. We place it into the bedrooms of UK students. So of about 560,000 first-year students that there are in the country, in residence, 530,000 of them arrive at university and find a box in that bedroom. That box has got some marketing messages from services and samples from people that want to reach students. Obviously, these are brand new consumers into the marketplace, low habits, low brand loyalty, and very, very misunderstood. And here we've got a mechanic to serve both the universities, to help them give a welcome experience, and to help those students for anything they might have forgotten that day one. They get there, open that box. It's a nice, friendly welcome. But it's hugely complex, and I've got no interest in plumbing. So, which is why the relationship with Azad has worked very well, because I don't even go down to look what's going on down there, because it's in the hands of somebody that I'm very happy with. So
tell us about the numbers, Chris, that you have to do in that and the period of time, because there's a lot of big businesses in the room, but yours is fascinating from the from the time period and volume.
Okay, so we need to get all of those boxes sat in situ in the bedrooms of 530,000 students. We have different products in different boxes for targeting, all picked up on the app, actually, which takes the insights from it. So out of 1,600 sites in the UK, holding with UK students living there, we operate at 1,450. So I need 1,450 different variations on a box done, in theory.
Yeah, 500,000 boxes.
500,000 boxes, and then we need them packed and out of the door in about 6 to 7 weeks, right, Azad?
Yeah.
10,000 a day.
10,000 a day, yes.
There we go.
Yes. But this is an important message for everyone here. When Tash was walking around, she said, you know, I said, oh, I like this business for one reason. And she goes, what's that? I said, well, in these 4 walls, and I've got 7 of them, so 7 times 4 walls, there's a lot of dreams of my clients, and in terms of the entrepreneurs and the vision behind those businesses. So if they do well, I do well. But really, it's just the theatre of dreams, and I'm just a little cog in that, trying to make things flow. And that's his 500,000, really. He's taken it from what, 100,000, 0,
Yeah.
to now the entire UK market.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Huh?
It's a bit of a cheeky.
So Chris,
cheeky
how do you kind of go from? How do you go from established brands to startup brands? Is there an interesting process around that?
What, in what sense? In terms of our customers?
Getting them interested in Diggin.
Hard work, getting harder, right? The events like this are always good to meet people. It's a huge scale, and people need to trust who they're working with, and also need to see that opportunity. It's been a long process. We're now in with many of the biggest companies, and we still like the startup businesses. We're able to do different flexible rates to make sure that works for people. If we see something useful and we think that's going to be good in that box for the students, for instance, I always want a cup of tea in there and a snack.
Yeah. So it's quite good. He's actually built an app as well, which is now, what, 100,000 plus people use that app?
Well, every year we get about 150,000 students of the 500,000 step up onto that. And that is designed to take their opinions, both on the products and everything that we're selling, so for new product development, for insights, to measure the performance. But also we've got quite a bigger message, which is we're trying to empower young people, trying to re-engage them in the news. So we're taking opinions not just about the products, but really trying to bring a view to this younger generation. Might be thinking about things rather differently than the 70-year-old white guys that are in charge of the government, etc. Maybe they don't know everything.
Push the agenda, yeah. Well, so I have a special affinity for Chris because business is in his family. So this was business he actually got off the ground independently to really show that he could build a business. So I'm ever so, as a human being, as a friend, I'm always been very proud of him making his achievements. Then you end up with clients that, well, I was on a kids show yesterday with Tash, and I said, BizKids, yeah, BizKids. And she said, what are your 2 observations in life? And I said, well, the world is much bigger than you realize, was one of my big observations, and travel's helped me do that. And you're UK, could be based over here. Some of you are going to start thinking about expanding internationally as well. So here's old Sprint. One of the things I did was that I partnered up and bought a stake in a company in Holland. And my MD's sitting in the back over there, Brian. Wave your hand, Brian. So he's my operating partner really for Europe. But then I also teamed up with this gentleman on my left. So Badr, tell everyone about what you do when it comes to internationalization.
Yeah, thank you, AZ. So at Everstox, we also like plumbing a lot. And we like very complex plumbing, which is in our D2C world is serving customers across the world. So being a UK company, but not limiting yourself to the UK market, but also serving obviously the US market that is massive, but also Germany, Southern Europe that is growing extremely fast. So Everstox has been developing a technology that supports, helps, serves D2C brands that are growing very fast to make sure that they scale their logistics as they need in the geographies that they want to grow in. So we have a tech layer, obviously, and on top of that tech layer, we vet, scout logistics companies in many different geographies. And here in the UK, we thought probably the best 3PL to serve fast-growing D2C brands is the company that is owned by the gentleman on my right. So I think over the past 2.5 years, we've been building and serving customers that are growing extremely fast. Here in the UK, we now have, I think, 13 customers together. And customers, again, that are serving UK customers, but not only, also Germany, Northern Europe, Southern Europe, North America. Because I think this morning in several sessions, right, we heard, we are thinking about launching in the US market. But it was only thinking. But then what are the different steps as a business owner that you need to go through to make sure that you design the right supply chain to serve your US customers. Last week at Game Changers, I think one of the fashion brands that was with us said, well, after Brexit, I decided to stop distributing my products to mainland Europe, and I lost £3 million of annual turnover. It's probably still a very sane financially business, but £3 million just because you don't know how to do it sounds like a big loss. So that's what we do with logistics companies, logistics partners that we think are the best at plumbing and at solving leaking as well.
Great. Okay, fantastic. So, Chris, what about your thoughts about going to the States? And actually, I'm going to reverse engineer. Start with people. What's been your hardest? Because I know some of the journey you've had on people. So, what would you say to? There's a lot of young businesses here, but being your challenge with people and retention.
Well, that makes it sound like people are running away from me. If you find somebody good, it always hurts if they go. For sure, but the main thing I'm learning around those people is it's kind of like you said about what you do for us. I need to extend that everywhere. I need to, as much as possible, get away from the day-to-day so we can continue to shape and build the business and grow at pace. So, the US and several other countries are all definitely there to be done. When that comes to it, certainly on the delivery of the service side, I hope just be able to pick up the phone to one of you guys, and that will happen. So I'll worry about getting the product in.
So I saw Lucky today. So we've done business with trainers company, isn't it? Tropic Feel.
Yes, Spanish company.
Yeah,
Fashion and lifestyle.
Tell everyone about Tropic Feel.
Yeah, so Tropic Feel is a company that is based in Barcelona that I think started originally with a backpack that they were selling on their website, but they obviously grew very fast and expanded into now shoes, raincoats, and a wide variety of fashion products. And obviously, as they are very ambitious, Spain was very early on, very fast, too small for them. So they looked at the US, the UK, Germany, and they wanted to make sure that they can really control everything that is going on in those markets without having to pick up the phone and call the 3PL on the other side of the pond in Pennsylvania or Ohio. So they partnered up with Everstox, and we've been serving them in 5 different countries, and together with Sprint here for the UK market. And
we're seeing that as a trend. There was a lot of marketing trends about what brands are doing. From a fulfillment perspective, I've seen over the last 2-3 years, I'd close with this, that people have become pretty good now at Amazon. That's become a very, very important channel. Supply chains are quite fragmented when it comes to handling Amazon, actually. So most big brands who have their own established warehouses and operations, they really don't know how to handle complicated Amazon movements. So we built our tech around that. And the other element is business to business. So now business to business buyers are reopening. A lot of young DTC brands are now moving into going head to head with retailers and actually competing with retailers for big, large business to business orders. So really an interesting business like ours, to make that commerce flow, has to also be able to deal with all those different channels, because it is actually going back to a mix of DTC and other fields as well now.
Amazing. Well, thank you, guys. I love the analogy that shipping's like plumbing. And I think from our point of view, we realised at some point after telling people to sort their 3PL out, I realised I knew absolutely nothing about shipping, needed to get my facts sorted. And what I love about AZ, firstly, is he's local. And you said that to me as well. Like, I'm here. People can come and see me. He's near Heathrow. Secondly is I've had to manage previously time and people, which is really tough to manage. AZ manages time, people, and space, and has this most amazing tech to enable the optimum efficiency so that things never get lost. I went there and saw him packing your 10,000 boxes, which was an unbelievable thing to see in a day. Literally, I could not believe it. I thought, my God, I have underestimated this. And international expansion, B2B, and Amazon. So we try and get partners who can really help you guys with everything, and this is one of them. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much.